evening, and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us here for the Cookout podcast every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Tonight it is just me and Anika. Happy birthday, Miss Anika.
Thank you, thank
Um,
you.
CM is lifing, and I assume the same with Sammy. I haven't had any contact with him for a couple days, but be what it be. We are here nonetheless for your enjoyment. Um, do you have any clowns of the week? Okay, so hold on. Let me back up a minute. If you're here with us, we appreciate you being here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button on this video on YouTube. Hit that bell. That's the best way to make sure you're notified every time we put something up on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitch, give us a follow over there. Unfortunately, we can't see your comments here on Restream if you're posting in Twitch, but if you come over to the YouTube channel, we can see them there. So if you want to come on over and chat with us, love to hear from you guys. Anything you guys want to talk about, anything that's going on in wrestling that floats your boat, makes you want to. Any questions you want to ask? Anything like that? I'm going to ask Anika here in just a minute. Ultimately, what we're going to do, because normally I think we were planning on watching episode 7, but I know that we also kind of try to like to wait till everyone's here to watch those. So I didn't know if we wanted to just do something else. So we audible on the fly, or we can watch episode 7. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that in a minute. But yes, thank you for joining us. Happy birthday, Miss Anika. How was your Tuesday, and how has your birthday been?
It's been cool. It's exactly it was exactly what I wanted. I'm not a very outlandish party girl, so sorry. I'm not like, hey, let's do a party, whatever. But no, so yeah, I chilled at the house. My people brought me to dinner, and that was it. I'm like, that's all I need. That's all I need, and I'm good.
Now we have you here to talk some wrestling or watch Lucha Underground. What do you think? You think we should actually watch episode 7, or you think we should just
Yeah,
talk
that's the
about some?
question. Well, what would we do if we're not talking about if we're not doing a watch along of Lucha Underground? What are we doing?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything you just want to talk about. There's a couple things that I saw in the news, not that will hold us for any extended period of time, but just things we can mention. I don't have any. I have one clown of the week. I don't know if you have any clowns of the week, but I have a clown of the week. My clown of the week is, let's see, I'm going to put up the little thing here, Banner, real quick. Hold on. If I can find it somewhere. Just to be all formal about it. Normally CM does this. I don't have anything for Phil other than just normal stuff, but that's not what I'm going with anyhow.
Phil.
But
Okay.
my clown of the week is Eric Bischoff. So this man said the other day, first of all, I guess he continues to double down and surround himself with Hogan. Like that's his buddy, right? So
Yeah.
they're like inseparable. And now they have this, what is it, real what's it's called? Oh my
It's a
god, it's
podcast.
RAF. No, it's wrestling. It's a wrestling promotion, RAF Wrestling, and it's something freestyle, real. It's not real American. It's something freestyle wrestling promotion. I have no idea what it is, but he was on an interview on Ariel Hawani, and he said this was my point of the clown of the week was he was saying that he thinks that if given the right platform, TNA could be bigger than AEW and be the number 2 in the United States if they just had the right big TV partner. And that's just nonsense because I don't care what TV channel TNA is on. When you have the best wrestlers on the planet in AEW, they're still not going to surpass them. So don't get me wrong. Over the years, there's been some stuff that TNA has done well, and I haven't watched TNA recently, mostly just because I guess they have some questionable people over there. I guess what's her name is over there currently, right? Is it Tessa Blanchard or is it
Shane
somebody else?
Blanchard.
There's
Yes.
somebody. It's Tessa Blanchard, right?
Yep.
So,
Shane Blanchard.
um, yeah. So, that tells me kind of all I need to know about most of probably the management behind scenes that apparently Eric Bischoff really likes. A gentleman named Carlos, whose name I can't remember now, who's now apparently running TNA. Um, but I just, even with the right platform, I just don't see it. I mean, TNA has been able to, keep their head above water ultimately for 25 years now and stay at least a company, in whatever iteration it has been. And they've survived, but they're not going to surpass AEW. So just not as long as AEW. I mean, AEW, in my opinion, and this might be a hot take, at some point AEW is going to surpass WWE. So you know, I mean, in my opinion. So I mean, so catching AEW, I mean, that's not happening. I don't think so. Um, yeah, and I see AEW just continuing to climb. So Eric Bischoff is my clown of the week for that take.
Yeah, that's a really dumb. Like how much hatred do you have for a company, dude? Like, no, like they didn't hire you, so freaking what? Like that was the dumbest take in the world. For 25 years, TNA has been TNA. No offense. The closest they've gotten to be on par with WWE. Excuse me. It was around like 2010, 11, I think. And then it was your crackhead, and like, no offense, it was your crackhead behind emotionally, where you and freaking Terrence from Florida took over, and that's when it really did a nosedive off the freaking cliff in the balcony, and that was y'all's fault.
I mean,
I,
I have not seen anything that, I mean, and to be fair, I'm not, I don't follow Eric Bischoff, but the little bit of stuff I've seen him participate in, none of it's been successful. And when he comes into it, he brings it down. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he destroyed WCW. That's my now. I understand it's not him, and nothing happens in a vacuum, and I understand that. But for me, he was the catalyst of destroying WCW, in my opinion. Um, so that's and just I don't like the guy in general. So and I think he's a narcissist, and I think he thinks that he knows more than everybody else in the world of wrestling, and and the fact that you're still friends with Hulk Hogan after the stuff that he's done just tells me all I need to know. Additionally, about what kind of person that you are, right? So,
yeah.
um, what about you? Any clowns of the week?
So initially, I was thinking about it, and I'll give Clown of the Week to Paul Levesque, sir. This this new behind show, Unreal, that's coming on Netflix. What are we doing? What is the point of this show? Honestly. So if anyone's interested, this is gonna be a behind the scenes of WWE. We're gonna show you how the story's created. Number one, why are we doing that? I listen. I know kayfabe is dead, but why are we trying to put it 6 feet under? Like again, we always say this. As long as we don't know the results, that's what makes it okay. But for you to tell us what's going, like, what's the point? Literally, what is the point? And then they showed a commercial for it. The commercial they showed for it was the Royal Rumble, where I'm not sure someone got hurt, quote unquote, and they put ISO speed in there. We all knew. So you're telling us that that was real, that that was actually not a work. You didn't have that in your back pocket for 2 weeks. That ISO speed was just in that moment was just gonna be. So you're gonna BS us in this show. So what is the point? What are we doing? What are we doing? Honestly, did Netflix ask for another show, and this is the best you come up with? Then go if that's it, go to the drawing board. Go back to the drawing board and try again, because this is dumb. This is dumb for wrestling fans all over the world. This is just dumb, and there's no point to this. There is no point to this. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna watch it.
yeah, I'm definitely not going to watch it as I'm not watching WWE content at the moment. But I guess you could. The reality is that at this point, I guess, you know, the curtain has been pulled back completely. And you either can lean into it or continue to pretend that it hasn't been, right? I suppose. I mean, I don't, so I guess this is leaning into it. At the same time, like, we already know that it's scripted, and the little bit of excitement that I still get from it, like you just said, like we talked about, is at least we don't know what the script says. So, once I know what the script says, it's going to be extremely boring, and I mean, then So I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I can't imagine that they're going to get much. Um, I don't think they're going to spoil the outcomes of matches in any way, shape, or form, or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't. Or I mean, I guess maybe afterwards, like if it's a like a backshot. So like, okay, so the show comes out after the event, and then they show you what happened, but not before the event. So I guess they could show you like backseat of how they decided who was going to win or the thought process, but not before the match, obviously, right? That obviously
Right.
doesn't work. So it only works if you do that after. And even then, like, I don't know, me personally, even if I was watching WWE, I probably wouldn't watch it. I'm not a big really a big behind the scenes kind of guy. Like I don't really watch like the behind the scenes on DVDs like they used to have and all like the bonus content and all that. I'm not really like I don't watch documentaries or first looks on movies and that kind of stuff. I'm not like big into how stuff was made. The only stuff I ever really watch on like how it was made is cooking shows. Like I'm kind of interested in how the sausage is made, which I know is the saying. Like I don't care how the
Right.
sausage is made. That's about the only thing I'm actually interested in. But no, I mean I often don't care about how stuff comes about, and this doesn't really interest me, especially if, like you said, if you're gonna what little bit of mystery there is left in professional wrestling, if you're gonna take that away, then yeah, I'm definitely not interested in that. So, no, I mean it's very interesting. I would be interested to know whether this was a WWE pitch to Netflix or Netflix pitch to them. I wanted a contract requirement. You got to give us a show or two, and this is what they came up with. It's interesting. I wonder what it'll do. I'd be interested to check the ratings to see, kind of what if people are actually watching it or not. But
The
yeah, I don't.
the only thing I can come up with is that they want an Emmy.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I come up with. They want an Emmy, not an Emmy for their humanitarian stuff. No, they want an Emmy for being an actual show. And I guess to be an actual show, you have to totally reveal that it's a scripted how it's scripted. And I'm like, oh, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I say no. This has been an over what definitely 50, 100 year industry of wrestling, and now I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
Like
I don't.
it's literally two swords. Number one, you don't show us anything, and there's no point to this. Or number two, you give us all the freaking you turn like you're showing us the wizard behind the curtain, and that is just boo, boo to that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
combo week, Paul Levesque. This is a dumb idea. It really is.
All right. So, do you want to watch episode 7? We should just do it, huh?
I mean, yeah. There's nothing else to freaking.
Ozzy Osbourne passed away. WWE Hall of Famer Ozzy Osbourne passed away.
Yeah. So I heard that he was sick. So it wasn't like it was all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, he had like he tripped and fell or something like that. So it makes I know it doesn't make the heartache any worse, but it's
Oh,
kind of like if you see it coming, you can kind of brace yourself just a little bit. But yeah,
I
that
mean,
sucks.
I think she had like a massive stroke like 20 years ago or something. So I think he was already, not, I don't want to say on borrowed time, but I think he was already maybe past what they thought, would be possible after the stroke that he had. Because he hasn't been okay for a long time.
Yeah.
So, but
No, it
yeah, I
was
mean, it's,
no crazy enough that time where it was after the reality show and his wife was on the talk show and it's not funny, but it's funny. Like, oh snap! I can actually understand what he's saying. What's going on? It's like oh that little repeat of oh he's getting better. So like at least they have those years where
right.
he was all there, and so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah
Well, yeah, and I mean, to be fair, he's one of the greatest rock and rollers of all time. So, I don't think he probably. I think he led a pretty good life for the most part. I mean, to
yeah
be sick and at the end is sad for anybody, but I think he led a pretty good life. So hard
yeah
life, but pretty good life, I think. So you see,
yeah.
Buff Bagwell got his leg amputated.
No, why why did that happen? Like, what kind of disease did he have?
I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the story here. It just said Buff Bagwell's leg was. Yeah, hold on. Let's see if I can. Where did it go? Here it is. Buff Bagwell opens up about his amputated. Yeah, it's a video. I'd have to watch it to see, but it just says talks about his decision to amputate leg.
Mm,
That's crazy.
no,
Like,
that
remember
really
Buff?
is.
Like Buff was the man for a while in WWE. I mean, in WCW.
WCW.
Um,
Like, I'm not sure we're ever gonna get a proper WCW documentary that now is like, let's call a spade a spade. WWE is petty, right? So I'm not sure we're ever gonna get a proper documentary from them for WCW. But it was the industry. It really was. And like them comparing themselves to AEW, sometimes it's over exaggerated, but like yeah, I really like ugh. What could have been?
Holy smokes! So it says lingering. It says due to lingering injuries from a 2020 car accident, but he says he still wants to get back in the ring, even with just the one leg once he healed. I'm assuming that probably means a prosthetic or something would be my guess, but um,
Um,
you can try
I'm
to
sorry,
wrestle with
what?
one. Thanks for being here. Happy to
This
have you.
hi boo boo. What? Why?
It just
Like
said lingering injuries from a 2020 car accident.
no. The getting back in the ring thing. Huh?
Right? Oh yeah. Why? Right? Like, I mean, to
Sir,
be
it's
fair,
been
like I don't know.
so
I'd be
long.
interested to know what you've been doing in the ring for the last 10 years, anyhow. 15. Like, I mean, I haven't seen you in the ring in a long
Like
time.
no.
So, like,
See, this is that delusional crap.
right?
That's delusional crap that made WCW go down. That's a delusional crap.
Oh man, yeah, right. Like, you haven't seen you on TV wrestling in a long time, but you want to get back in the ring now with one leg. Like, I don't know about all that. Okay. I mean, I suppose
Like,
it's like anywhere.
sir.
Look, if someone will call you and give you a bag of money to come do what you want to do, I mean, then I guess it is what it is. I mean, but
No.
no.
It's just like I need the delusion to wear I need the delusion to wear off. I need y'all to realize when to say stop. Like no like sir, you got your leg amputated. You got your leg amputated, sir. What are we doing?
Ric Flair is cancer free, supposedly.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I don't want
good.
to say nothing bad, but it's one of those things where like, I mean, I don't know nothing about the man per se. I mean, other than just the stuff that I've seen, but
No. We could he said so I can say it. He already said he should have been dead a long time ago. So yeah.
it's one of those things. There was this one time I saw this shirt, and you may have seen one before, but there's this shirt that says "assholes live forever," and I know, I don't know that he's an asshole per se, but it kind of has that feeling to it to a certain extent. So, uh,
Oh,
what Laura says, Buff used to be a dancer, aka meat slinger. Oh,
I
that's
can
that's
I see that though.
that's funny.
That's not far away from imagination. That's the thing.
Uh,
Like it's not what you call it. It's not in the wrestling vein, but we also have to mention that Theo passed away.
oh yeah, he sure did.
Michael Jamal Warner.
Rest in peace. Yes, welcome to Mount Wonder, man.
That's
I mean,
it,
I don't know. Well, you're probably too young, really. But I mean, I grew up on the Cosby Show. I mean, you probably watched it when you were reruns, right? But like, I mean, when I was a kid, it was like live and happened, not live, but it was happening like, you know what I mean? Like, and so like, I mean, I
yeah.
grew up on the Cosby Show, and when the whole Bill Cosby thing went down, and I still don't know, I never know like what to, whatever the case may be, but I mean, it was hard for me because I mean, I always thought of he was always like the quintessential family guy on TV, and he had he did the Reading Rainbow stuff, not Reading Rainbow. He did oh my God, what was that? He was the pen. Oh my God, he voiced this pen where he did this thing for, and he was Fat Albert. I mean, like
Oh,
it,
So he was Fat Albert and he was Little Bill?
Oh yeah, that too. But yeah, no, there's another guy. There was like this pen that he voiced that was like an actual like pen graphic that went around and did like math problems and taught kids letters and
Oh,
stuff back
wow.
in the day. And he was the voice of the pen. I can't remember the name of it right now, but so I mean, he was, so that and now this, and obviously they're two totally different situations. But just to see, I mean, I mean, Theo Huxtable. I mean, man, yeah. So very sad. It's very young still, 54. I mean, it's and drowned. I
Wow.
guess he drowned in Costa Rica on a family
So he was
vacation.
in
Like, damn.
Costa, like, ugh. It's just one of them things where just like you wish it didn't happen.
Picture
You just
pages.
like
That's what
you
it was
wish it
called.
didn't happen. It was what?
Picture pages. That's what it was called. My wife tells me in the
Oh
background. She's
wow.
yelling in the background. Laura says, "I watch a man with no legs wrestle. What? With no legs, a doll, a teddy bear, a man smoking a joint, all on GCW." Yeah, I mean, so I think
If
the stuff with Buff
Buff
probably
was
has
gonna go
less to do
there,
with Buff was on that show
sure.
Gigolos. Oh, okay. Buff was on that show Gigolos apparently. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, if Buff still wants wrestling, someone wants to give him a paycheck. I guess it is what it is. My thing is more just that it. I guess you got to use what you've got in front of you, but like I said, I haven't seen you on TV or in any significant wrestling thing in a really long time. So if you're thinking, oh, now I have one leg and I can parlay that to bring my wrestling career back, I mean, I guess there's a silver lining in everything, and that's a good way to think about life, I suppose. But it's like I don't know that that's going to work for you, and I'm not sure that I want to see. I mean, the dude's not young. I mean, he's not. It's not like he's 25 with no leg. He's like 50 with no leg. Like, I mean, I didn't want to see Buff Bagwell, and I think people were seeing that already before this. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, again, I guess it is what it is. And again, like if someone wants to pay him and he wants to do it, I guess more power to him. But I mean,
Just
I'm not
more
sure I would
so
be
like
signing up to. I'm not paying to watch a Buff Bagwell match at this point. Say that.
where did and more so where have you been like before you had your leg amputated in 2020? Where have you been? Like you said, you had not been wrestling for a
Yeah.
minute before the leg got cut off.
Right.
So why are we trying to do this now? I like I need you to get I don't think get your life together, but
Dolores says Buff been getting high off life.
but it really is like, what are we doing, sir? What are we doing? Go to DDP, do some yoga, and find some new purpose in life. Because no offense, wrestling isn't it. It like I'm not trying to be judgy, but sometimes you call space space. It ain't it. This ain't it, boo boo.
Uh, that's
I
what
mean,
Dolores
look
says.
at
That's
30.
yeah. That's why he was with DDP.
Listen, DDP is doing the Lord's work right now. This is his real this is his real calling right now, straight up, where he is actually helping the people after wrestling, and it is a great need. And I get it though. I get it. Someone I was listening to the dude. uh I'm not sure if you ever watched a movie called Holes from 2002. It was the little boys who
Shia
were in the
LaBeouf.
jail
Yeah.
program that was
Yeah.
yes. So his friend, he was talking about that high where he was like, "Listen, I was doing when he was doing concerts after the movie, and the high of the crowd applauding you is addictive as hell." And he was like, "Thankfully, I got out because I had some good parents, but that is like when you don't have that on a regular basis, it's a crash." So I understand after you wrestle and literally like if you were in WWE or WCW and you were even a mid carder, that's at least 10, 20,000 people cheering for you. Coming coming down from that is very much so hard. So I'm not even gonna act like, oh, just get over it. I'm not gonna say get over it, but there is life after it. I just need y'all to find it. Everybody who was, especially people who were in, I'm sorry to say, but Attitude Era is the best era. No offense. It's undefeated. It really like right now, in my opinion, more so of viewerships and mainstreamness is still undefeated right now. And so if you were mid card, upper card in the, I'll say 2000, 1998 to 2002, like, yeah, that's kind of hard to get off of. I'm not even gonna hold you. So I understand the high and trying to get off the high. I just need you to know that there is life after it. There is life after it. Life doesn't have to be just about the war. We're crackheads. We're wrestling fans are emotional crackheads. You can't base your life on us.
This is very true.
We say one more match. We chant one more match. We chant one more match. The 57-year-olds. You can't listen to us, please.
This is very true.
Go find. In the words of Olivia Pope, go get some normal. Go get some normal.
Ah, all right. So, what else? Even though I'm not watching WWE, it looks Santino's going to be on NXT.
Is he? Well, so they're doing they're doing a, what you call it? They're cross promoting heavily the TNA and NXT. So real quick results of Slammiversary. In a nutshell, all the NXT wrestlers won.
Oh, okay.
So yes and no, because it really is like, okay, look, unless in my okay, if I'm not mistaken, they haven't been bought by WWE yet, right? We're just doing a brand partnership. So how the ham fat are all y'all, like, y'all are losing too much, especially the triple threat between Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, and Santana Ortiz, and they're in New York. Santana Ortiz, a New Yorker, and he's actually a main eventer, but you don't put the belt on him. Who is making these decisions? And then Jessie Jane beat Marsha Slimovich, and so now she's a double champion.
Are you kidding?
Jessie Jane,
JCJ?
the chick from
No, I don't. Yeah, yeah.
Fatal
No,
Influence.
no, no. I don't.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
she's a double champion.
No, it's unreal.
For what?
It
For who?
is unreal.
For what?
So, uh, yeah, it says Santino's going to wrestle for in a championship match. So I guess so. This kind of goes back. I guess this harkens back to maybe, like I said, I read the little subtext. I didn't listen to the whole Eric Bischoff interview. Maybe this is what he's talking about. I guess maybe TNA being hand in hand with WWE, he thinks that rub gives TNA that potential to, I suppose if you're putting a bunch of WWE stars on TNA, in theory, they get that rub and maybe TNA tries to, I don't know, maybe that's what he's talking about. I mean, he's talking about they need the right TV deal, but in connection with having something like WWE, or even if WWE were to actually eventually buy TNA or whatever that, whatever it is, and bring them into the WWE umbrella or TKO umbrella, whatever that is, Endeavor umbrella. I suppose then you can see a whole lot of stuff from TNA. Uh,
But no, so like, I love, like you said, so positives. You do see more people. I actually love Santana getting this shine. The whole ordeal with Pride and Powerful, it literally was two people who weren't wrong. Like, I really did get both sides of the story, and he actually was working, and he's actually is in TNA a main eventer. But it's really, it's like, you really couldn't get the belt. You really couldn't let him beat Trick Williams. Really? Like, what are we doing here? Come on. It's like when you're cross promoting to compare it to Forbidden Door, there's some things that the first ever Forbidden Door. I didn't know these people because I wasn't a indie dark. I wasn't watching indie wrestling like that or New Japan like that. But it was some hard yes and no's. The between correct me if I'm wrong, Okada, Jay White, Adam Cole, and I want to say someone else. Adam Cole got hurt, right? And so Jay White did this when Jay White was still with New Japan, and he did the Sling Blade and won. And so I didn't know anything. I asked the question. So why couldn't he just do the Sling Blade to Okada? And they're like, no. And everybody was like, no. Okada's the top person. You can't do it. I'm like, oh, okay. But I understand. That was their top person. They said in their minds, our top people are getting pinned. TNA just don't give a crap. They're like, look, we're begging you to come save us. You can beat everybody, and they have. And it really is like, sure, but no. What are we doing? Can you at least you don't have the one person you're like, no, you can't pin. You would think it was Joe Hendry, but evidently it's not. It's like if you don't have the hard no of you can't pin Joe Hendry, then what are we doing here? Just sell to WWE already.
Santino was introduced.
Yeah. No.
Go ahead.
No. So I love that storyline where Ava's the advocate for TNA for NXT, and so the whole complete no shenanigans. Like her and her father are just darling. It really is funny and hilarious to see, and he's not overshadowing her. It's actually a good back and forth. And so yeah, and they're actually I want to the first father and daughter tag team ever. That's a little these are the little nice things if you don't plan for this in the future. But it's like if we could do this, it'd be so good. And it's like, oh, we're doing it. Oh, this is a family thing.
Aurora says Santana was right, and he wrestled that weekend, so I understand why he didn't win. He never planned because plans could change.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna say he was right because the whole thing of Pride and Powerful is he wanted more, and I think uh, Mookie just knew that in AEW they weren't going to get more. So either you're going to what's the word? Either you're going to leave or you're just going to accept that. And Mookie just accepted it, and that's not wrong. It's like listen, it is what it is, but sometimes you gotta roll the dice. And I'm glad he rolled the dice. He's getting to shine now, even though he lost. So yeah, he was right, but he isn't champion just yet. Just saying.
See what else? What else?
So we're not going to do the whole thing because we are going to watch. We are going to do. My schedule comes out tomorrow, but it feels like everything is back to normal on our schedule. So we will have Saturday Winter Circle. We'll be talking about AEW Dynamite and Collision. I didn't finish it, but what I saw, I love more so. Tony Storm versus Athena. I'm already into it. Like it's like listen, it's so hard to pin someone against Tony Storm because Tony Storm is a character, and I think SP3 said it best. He was like, the Tony Storm character is in her own world. The only reason why it worked with Blake Monroe, aka Mariah May, is because it was still the Tony Storm story. It wasn't like Mariah May just came into it and it worked. It was just no, she was a part of the Tony Storm story. With Athena, she's goofy enough to go with Tony Storm. So I'm already here for it. I don't know when you do it, but I'm here for it. It's so freaking good.
Well, it says Cardi B. I can't wait for next weekend.
Listen. We got a whole lot to do to build this up. So, can we please not do this next year?
SummerSlam. We're talking about SummerSlam, right?
Talk about SummerSlam. When I say not do this,
I'll be right back. 1 sec.
Okay, I am talking about counter programming 2 weeks before one of your biggest pay-per-views or premium live events of the year, bro. Like for you to Saturday night main event from 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago, 2 weeks ago was not worth it. Like right now, we're trying to develop stories for SummerSlam, and you got 2 weeks. And no offense, it's rare occasions where the matches actually are that exciting within 2 weeks. Off the top of my head, Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk. But again, that's Eddie Kingston and CM Punk. Not everybody are these two legends. So you're trying to do this within 2 weeks, and you're trying to promote this within 2 weeks of build, and it's not cooking on all cylinders. I'll just say that. At least not yet. Monday Night Raw was very much so mid yesterday. It really served, what's the word? It really served. We're trying to develop a rivalry feud within 2 weeks on certain matches. More so Punk and Gunther. It'll be a fine match, but the build is very much so mid. Punk doesn't do well with new matches. He has to his rivalry has to be at least very much so a year old. Facing new people with no backstory is not his bag.
Gloria says, "Don't hate. It did great. It sold out with Beyonce across the street."
Okay, they bought tickets, but ratings wise, nobody saw that, John. And him and Goldberg versus Gunther was not worth it. Don't do this, D. Don't do this. It was not worth it. It's,
Hysterical.
and then what was I say? What else? What else needs to be built? And like so, the women I kind of get because of injuries live. So that's going to be all right because it is going to be Io, Rhea, and Naomi. But it's like, okay, fine. Jade versus Tiffany, that needs some work. That needs some work. I am not invested. And Cody versus Cena, ah, I, I don't care. I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Even though it's been going on since WrestleMania, or it started, there you go. It started at WrestleMania. I I don't care. I don't care. I'm not a Cena person. I'm not really a Cody person. So that does not excite me. I really do wish for I said this. They're showing Jelly World. They're showing Jelly Roll.
Mhm.
It was not. They're showing Jelly Roll more than showing Cardi B, and Cardi B's a host. I'm like, hold up, she's doing it on social media. I'm like, when's she gonna be on Raw? When's she gonna be on SmackDown? I need to see some kind of promos from her live. I don't understand, but 2 nights. We'll see how this does. It's SummerSlam. It's SummerSlam. It's WWE, so it's not going to flop. But it is like, all right, y'all been counter programming and not really building up to the biggest night in summer. We'll see how this does. I kind of hope that it does. I kind of hope it sucks. We don't do this next year because this was dumb. Them having back to back premium live events is not worth it. It's dumb. So that's just me. I hope they don't. Please don't do this again next year. Please, please, thank you.
Please, thank you. Apparently, Cedric Alexander, even though he just made his TNA debut, hasn't ruled out coming to AEW at some point. You see him as a member of the Hurt Syndicate.
I mean, we've all seen, like, when he left, we all like, oh, when's the clock gonna roll down? Because that's the obvious choice, right? Even though him versus Ali, Mustafa Ali at Slammiversary, I I love that. Like that is what you call it, premium um premium cruiserweight classic. Like those two have magic, and it really was a case of they could have done more in WWE, but they didn't. So I love that. So I'm not, even though I want him in her syndicate, I do love that him and Mustafa are mixing it up, so I don't want it to end just yet. But it is like it's like, hey, yeah, that's the end goal, right? You're gonna do this, and you're gonna go to AEW, and who's to say that he doesn't want to be tied down? Like I feel like right now it's like, yes, I want having guaranteed money never is what you call it. It never hurts. But I think sometimes it's like, let me spread my wings before I get tied down again. And I understand that completely. I understand that. Like before Osprey officially signed with AEW, he's like, let me just hit all my old spots up real quick before I sign. I'm like, I get that. I get that. So maybe this is what maybe that's what take it, brain fart. Cedric Alexander is doing, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. He was actually in acai wrestling as well. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
is
I
it
would love to see
Asha?
Cedric.
I want to say it right, Asha.
I would love to see Cedric in AEW. I mean, for me right now, that's where the best wrestling happens, and that's the only wrestling I'm really watching at the moment. To be totally honest with you, as on a regular basis, I've watched a few of the G1 matches since the G1 just started in New Japan last week, so I've watched a couple of those matches. But really, all I'm watching at the moment is AEW. So naturally, I'm a little biased. I want to see him on AEW, but I think that's where the best wrestling happens, and I think Cedric Alexander is one of those guys that's always been very underrated and underutilized. Even when he has had his moments, I still think it's always been kind of like, oh, it's still only Cedric Alexander. And I think that's unfair because I think he's a super talented
Mm-hmm.
dude, just like Shelton Benjamin. And I'd love to see him come over and get a little bit more of a, maybe in a place where they would value him a little bit more. So I definitely would love to see him um, in AEW. Did you
No,
see that MJF offered Bill Goldberg, if you're unhappy with your retirement match in WWE, you can come here and we can have your last match. I'll give you your retirement match.
I didn't. I didn't see that online, but a lot of people were saying that because, like, so listen, okay, you said there's levels to this. They're comparing Bill Goldberg to
Yeah, Cedric's wife got disrespected in AEW.
I did bring so I brought that up in the chat. Um, in interviews, Cedric said he wants to go. So I'm pretty sure his wife gave him the green light. Hey, baby, don't worry about me. You can go do your thing. So I don't think that's a factor. I'm not going to say officially I know, but in interviews he said he would love to join. So I'm going to say he already had the conversation with his wife, and if it presents himself, is it would happen. But I have the same thing. But back to Goldberg. Yeah, there's levels to this. And people are comparing Goldberg to Sting. And they're like, well, they did Sting's retirement so well. Like, listen. Sting has the blessing of he did not wrestle for a nice pockets of time. Unlike other wrestlers, he actually set out for a couple of years and came back. Set out for a couple of years and came back. So his body wasn't as broken as many of his WCW counterparts, i.e., Goldberg, who we've seen have trash matches. The last, we'll say, 5 of his matches have been trash. The only one that was decent was with Dolph Ziggler. And it's probably because it was against Dolph Ziggler in the ring. So I'm not sure. Listen, he's not on the Mount Rushmore of top stars, in my opinion. In WCW, I'm trying to think. Will he be on the Mount Rushmore? I don't know. Ah,
Listen, if
Sting.
if Bill Goldberg is on Mount Rushmore of WCW, it's only because of the way he was booked. It has nothing to do with any in-ring talent
Either
or
way,
any wrestling talent. I mean, listen, the reality is that um, you know Goldberg compared. I mean, if you want to compare Goldberg to Sting, there's no comparisons. And I'm not a Sting fan. I'm not a Sting guy. There's no comparison. I mean, Sting is way up here. He's a legitimate Hall of Fame wrestler. Bill Goldberg's down here, a guy that injures people. And in my opinion, I don't know that he ever had what I would call a great match. Even when he was in the middle of his streak in WCW, I don't think he ever had what I would call a great match. I can never think of myself as, oh my God, Bill Goldberg had a great match ever, let alone when he came to WWF or any of the stuff he's done over the last 10 and 15 years. So no disrespect to Goldberg. I'm sure he's a nice guy and all those things. He's a fellow Jew. So in that regard, I'm happy to see him get a little bit of the rub. But, at the same time, like, the man is a terrible wrestler. He always has been, and he always will be. And he's only gotten worse as he's gotten old. So, the idea that they could do a Goldberg retirement good, I'm not interested in that at all. That doesn't, I mean, again, I wasn't interested in with Sting. I'm way less interested in it with Goldberg. And even wrestling MJF, that just does zero for me. And in fact, I just wish people would just let him go away. Like, quit, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where this comes from. Like, I don't know if this is just MJF just because for whatever reason, he has some feelings about Goldberg as a fellow, Jew, those kind of things. I don't know. When you talk about when you Google, you know, greatest Jewish wrestling stars of all time, Goldberg's at the very top of that list, and so is MJF. There's only a handful of guys in the
That's
history. So,
crazy.
I mean, the
Yeah.
reality is that so he might find some sort of connection, and he might even look to Goldberg in that regard. And I can understand that, and I can see that, and that's great. Again, as a fellow Jew, at the same time, like, I was never a Goldberg fan, and I'm not a Goldberg fan now, and I don't want to see him wrestle anymore, especially not in AEW where the best wrestling happens. You can't bring a dude in that's been known to be a terrible wrestler in the company where the best wrestling on the planet is happening. Like, I just don't. That just rubs me wrong.
So the reason why I bring it up, he said Goldberg can go over there and
Oh,
do the NJ like Bret.
here we go.
Stop. But so here's the thing. This is the reason why I bring it up. Uh, whether you like it or not, Goldberg was a highlight of WCW. So it's more so does he deserve again, it's one of the things where I get it but still let it go. I get wanting a good retirement. I blame this on HBK and Ric Flair. The first retirement in 2008, Chef's Kiss. It was perfect. That emotional crack kid would have stayed retired. That was a perfect ending for Ric Flair. I think everyone saw that and they were like, I want that. I want that ending. And two things has to happen. You have to let go when the time is right, and you need the perfect opponent. With Goldberg, I'm not sure who his perfect opponent would be. So MJF is saying this, right? How would that look? Because we can't go more than 5 minutes. We've already seen that. Gunther tried to bring the best out of him. It was an eye match, but it wasn't like, oh snap, craziness. And is it worth it? It's like, are we really going to try one more time to do a perfect retirement match? You know what? If you want to try, fine. If you want to try, fine. But at least let's put some realistic expectations on this. Let's not try to do a 5-star classic match. Let's do what Goldberg's been doing under 3 minutes and just a whole lot of hype and build, and just be done with it. You have to let it if you're really thinking about this, you have to let it go. You have after the match is done, you have to let it go.
Because he was mad more about his speech not being on TV, but honestly, I didn't want him. I wanted Cody.
So here's the thing, right? I so WWE been WEing for a minute. So his match ended, and like they're on NBC, and it's like, listen, this is not USA. When 10 o'clock hits, it's done. And I'm not sure. I really think that they've been doing the overlap for so long, they forget. No, NBC says at 10 you're over. So, but it should, like, in my mind, it's kind of a petty thing to do. Like some stuff you can say, hey, you did on purpose. I truly believe they think that they did. No one saw the clock, but they showed it on YouTube. So it isn't like if you didn't want to see it, you didn't see it. It's on Peacock. So like, if there is a point in time where it's like, okay, now Goldberg, come here, baby, come here, baby. You weren't that, you weren't that special. To be this over, like no offense, for you to be overly mad about this, 2 plus 2 don't equal 4, or you're like, you're not Sting, so you're. It was on YouTube. Now the whole thing about the match, I can kind of, like you said, a better hype, a better build. I can see that point. But you being mad about your speech, it's like, sir, I think you need to come down to reality, sir. It wasn't that bad. Like people don't realize that Sting's speech was cut, and they brought it. Sting's speech after he wrestled was cut, but they put it on YouTube. So it's not like you're not that special, sir.
Goldberg spoke 3 words and got cut off.
But again, that wasn't WWE's fault. You can see it on YouTube.
And
Like you like I don't. If you're a fan of Goldberg, you're gonna watch it. So I don't understand. I don't understand the logic of being mad about that, about being cut off about your speech. No offense.
I mean, listen, all of these guys, you know, anybody that's at the very top of their profession and dedicates their life to trying to be the best at whatever they can. And, whether I like him or not, whether I think he deserves to be there or not, at one point, WCW was a huge wrestling company, and Goldberg was the world champion for a long time. And in some regards, the major draw for them at one point. So, the fact is that, he's, worked hard to get to where he's at and all those kinds of things. For me, I felt like he was always overrated. And nothing's ever shown me any different. And there's some guys, that I'm okay with at this point. I mean, that I was okay with hanging around for a while, after they were well past their prime, even though he's not the greatest planet. At least Ric Flair, in my opinion, is one of, if not, arguably and debatably the greatest wrestler of all time. Goldberg just isn't in that same conversation, so he doesn't get the same kind of leeway with me and same kind of leash with me. I just don't, so I don't, I've never, like I said before, I've never been a big Goldberg fan, and I just don't understand. As far as, I understand in his head, he's probably whatever, but like, I think he should just be lucky with the career he's had and just be like, thank you, and move the fuck on. Like, the fact that you're whining about not getting what other people get or all those kinds of things, it's like, yeah, you're lucky you got anything with as hot as you were, in my opinion. So, I mean, just move on. I mean, you were an NFL football player. You were, the biggest star at one point in a company that was huge. And, move on. It is what it is, in my opinion. So, but, people still love Goldberg, I guess. And apparently MJF wants to wrestle still. So, okay.
Like, listen, if like I said, if you're gonna do this on AEW, just know your expectations. Let's do some real. The thing about Sting, he knew what his expectations were. He's like, listen, I'm not doing a singles match. I'm not that. Even though him wrestling with Darby, we all was like, huh? 10 minutes. He's like, no. He was adamant about, no, I can't do it. Okay, you know what? We're gonna trust you and that was probably the greatest decision ever. The retirement match, a whole lot of smoke and mirrors of Darby basically going through glass to make it worth it, and it was. I don't think Goldberg has those realizations just yet. I think he still thinks he can do a good spear and a good jackhammer, and it'll be enough. And it's like, sir, it won't be. I need you to come down to earth. If you go over to AEW, please listen to MJF or whoever to orchestrate you a good match and let it the freak go. Let it go. No, so crazy enough, that's been 50 minutes. We can actually.
I was just saying, it's been a good little hour conversation.
Yeah.
Good little hour. Unless you got anything else, that's probably.
We did it. Yay.
We managed to fill the air for an hour. Really, about not much of anything. I've seen it. But hey, I do have one more
I'll just
question for
say
you.
this.
I know that Evolution
Okay.
got a lot of praise. Was it as good as it?
Yes.
I mean, was it? Talk about it for a minute.
So if you want to just watch some good wrestling, Evolution was a good premium live event. Those women put that work in. Like it really was a screw y'all. Y'all are not going to screw us with this build and the timing of this and all of the shenanigans that went around building up Evolution. They put that work in and it is worth a watch. All the matches were great. The biggest, like literally the top thing that people were mad about was we wish this match would have gone longer. That's literally what it was. We wish the match would have gone longer. Bailey, Lyra, and Becky, that was so good. And Io versus Rhea was it's Io versus Rhea. Like I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, who is like usually when you're a big star, you need your opposite, right? You need your rival. And I was kind of timid to say EO because you know it looks like they officially got like head to head, but she might be Rhea might Io might be Rhea's rival. It's like okay, so that's your rock to Hogan. Sorry, no. That's your rock to Stone Cold, and more so you just have to write well around them to make it a good rivalry. You know, it's like it's not heated yet. It's like I love the premise of Io has Rhea's number, but I still need that little extra I want to destroy you energy. They're not there just yet. But no, it was worth a watch. It was so freaking good. I actually love Charlotte Flair now that she's with Bliss. They solved they worked out the problem. They actually figured they figured it out. Oh, they're trying to regress. Don't regress. Just let Bliss and Charlotte cook for a minute, and and Bliss and Charlotte might actually have people cheering for her honestly, and not because y'all are forcing us to. So yeah, no, it is worth the watch. Um, Summer's ending, and hopefully all the wrestling will go out with a bang. Even though SummerSlam is not having the best build in the world, I hope that's a good review. I hope that Forbidden Door is a good pay per view. Like it's been some bad builds. It's been good wrestling. So like let's go out with a bang. Let's end this summer right.
I know that it got a lot of praise, and I'm happy to hear that it was good because even though I'm not watching WWE, I still, there was a lot of debate about whether to do another one, and now, so if they continue to kill it, they're gonna have to continue to do it, right? I mean, you just can't. So,
Yes.
so no, that's really good. I'm happy to hear that.
No. I think they finally committed to it. I'm not gonna say officially, but they are committed to it because it was so good. It was so freaking good.
All right. So we'll do some house clean and then we'll get up out of here. So you are with us here on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern for the cookout every Tuesday. Um, so make sure and join us every Tuesday for that. On Friday nights, it's Anika and Sammy Joe or Anika and somebody watching or Anika solo, depending on what's going on watching SmackDown in real time, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, giving you their reactions and opinions in real time as the show goes on. For some reason, I don't have a winner's circle graphic to put up, but every Saturday morning, we are here for the winner's circle. It's myself, Anika, and Sammy Joe reviewing Collision and Dynamite from the week before, giving each one a grade and declaring one show the winner circle. So, and then let's see if you scan this QR code, it will take you to Linktree, and from Linktree you can get to all of our social media from one place, and you can come interact with us on all of these social media platforms. Love to hear from you guys. Love to interact with you guys. So come over and check it out. Again, scan that QR code, and from there that'll take you to Linktree, and from Linktree you can get to all of them. from one little location. So, and last but not least, if you want to check out the Cookout audio version, you can check that out on these podcast platforms. So if you don't have time to sit and watch the Cookout, you can listen to our golden vocal cords in your ear as you run your errands, work out, do whatever else it is you do while you listen to us. So, unless there's anything else you want to say, we'll do like Dolores does and cut out them lights and say peace.
Bye.